Gee. Do you know what? I love the idea. There's a lot of football podcasts out there, and people have got choice. And I love the idea of someone coming to this show for the first time and hearing that energy.
Yeah. I mean, an energy that very much was escalated in the last 3 seconds that he had to speak.
I didn't understand any of it, but the energy was amazing.
He's doing stretches to warm down now.
Yeah.
That's me knowing that a show has to start at 7 o'clock exactly on Absolute Radio, and me having to fill for 30 seconds and then realising I've run completely out of time. And Claire Sturgis is up next with a request shop.
Yeah. So I've heard you do that. I've literally heard you do that.
Peter, when Newcastle United beat the champions of England
The other night.
I tell you what, it is big news for us. It's big news for everybody, but my goodness, it provides us with an extra swing in our swagger.
Is it the night that Mike Ashley fell back in love with Newcastle United?
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Is it the night that the fans fell back in love with Mike Ashley?
Hope so.
No.
What I like about a result like that is that if Ashley was around the supporters, everyone's going mad. It was an incredible win and so on, and Ashley turns to them and goes to put, we still hate you.
Yeah.
Like,
What I
back
like
off.
about-
This is despite you.
Yeah, exactly.
He massively bottled it as well because there was going to be a big protest, which kind of came to nothing because Newcastle United supporters refused to not attend matches. And I think there was one solitary tennis ball thrown onto the pitch. There are a couple of supporters who sort of planned protests.
I mean, that just sounds, and also that's when it goes from protest to just a person walking their dog.
Yeah.
Also,
One tennis ball.
I don't know.
Get on the pitch, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know the sort of physical makeup of the city, but is there a high likelihood that was purchased at Sports Direct?
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, that's
I
you
imagine
mugged
it
yourself off there a little bit. But
How good would it have been, Pete, if after that result, Sky Sports News, so Newcastle win 2-1, full-time whistle goes, and Sky Sports News get a little bit of information there, and we got a statement from, I think we got a statement coming out of Newcastle United, it's a statement from Mike Ashley, and it's just a statement Mike Ashley just puts out there, we've got the players. And that's it.
Yeah.
I told you we didn't need anyone.
Ashley knows.
Hashtag no further business.
Imagine the leap off though of imagine if Mike Ashley announced that he'd sold the club that night at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
It'd be
People would not
stratospheric.
work for the next 3 weeks.
I was gonna
Because
say-
you had there's two players coming in, Almiron and one other. You had
Yeah.
the win against the champions and Mike Ashley going to save the high street somewhere else.
Buying
What a
Sunderland,
week!
maybe.
What
to-
a week.
Buying
to
Sunderland.
truly turn it around.
Yeah.
Perhaps like chucking loads of Sports Direct mugs onto the pitch would be an appropriate
That would
protest.
be a very offensive missile. But a few fans actually got their season tickets rescinded for planning these protests. I'm not sure what was actually planned, but NUFC have a terrible reputation with their fan liaison for obvious reasons because Mike Ashley's a bit of a tit.
Yeah. What did you make of the win though, Pete? So presumably, aside from all this, they're 1-0 down after about 25 seconds. The Newcastle, I don't think, have come back from being 1-0 down at half time to win a Premier League game for a very long time. I think it might be 2006 or something like that. Surely you have to, as a Newcastle fan, put all that to one side and say, you know what, I enjoyed that game. I enjoyed the moment.
The Rafa Benitez tenure has been a massive 3-year-long missed opportunity in many ways, and he will be leaving at the end of the season. I'm moderately confident of that situation because Mike Ashley refuses to invest any money into the playing staff. So moments like those, I think you can cherish. You know what I mean? Like, I think people remember the 4-4 draw against Arsenal in the Alan Pardew years. I hate Alan Pardew, but I really enjoyed that moment. And I think every kind of tenure manager, there's always something to hang your hat on.
That's fans of like 90% of clubs, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
There's
the
always
moments
something-
you. I mean, I certainly feel like that as a Portsmouth fan. It's not as though it's not unparalleled success all the time. You take the little bits that you
I'm
can.
so glad that happened. And like when we sat and watched Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, Luke, like Chelsea were there to be got at. Manchester City were making mistakes. They didn't. And Newcastle United, for all their faults, they can move the ball around in midfield quite well. It's just, they're just not as penetrating as a lot of other teams, so they're not going to score as many goals. And Rondon is very tired. He always looks very tired.
In the first half, in particular, he was basically kind of. He was your sole presence in City's half, really, and that was clearly a very tactical thing from Benitez to sort of shore it up for a bit, having conceded so early. But I found that the first half in particular was a real drudge, wasn't it? And I was so like, yeah, go on, Newcastle. It was good to see them turn it around because City just weren't quite there. And
City's performance was a strange one.
it's funny, like. You get this fatigue with Guardiola sides, and it's starting to happen with City now. Like, however attractive it is, you get a bit bored of it. And it happened at Bayern, and to an extent, it happened at Barcelona. And I think maybe it's happening now as well. So go on the Geordies.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Peter. It's a missed opportunity because Newcastle United have Rafa Benitez.
It's
in
mad.
charge.
There's a reason why they've won against Manchester City. There's a reason why they're not completely bottom of the table because he can organise a defence and organise a midfield. But
Do we have any information
It's not
about
Paul Dummett, is it?
No, who's the whose pocket is the money for Almiron coming out of? Is Rafa
Well,
buying it himself, as
obviously-
Richard Key suggested? or-
Obviously, welcome an overdue news that transfer record is going to be broken. But there's a Twitter account that looks at the price of football. I think it's literally called the price of football, and we've
Why is it
borrowed.
called that?
We've borrowed. Well, they look at the financial side of football.
Oh, right.
And they and Newcastle United have indeed borrowed cash from Barclays against betting it against the broadcast income from this and next season. So
Excellent.
Mike Ashley again is not putting any money in the club. He's either servicing his own loans or he's just spending money that the club doesn't have for footballers. So
Save you the British High Street, though, Marcus.
I'd
and-
like
Certainly
Alan
it's
Shearer
pretty
to
special.
beat him up.
I'd like to kick him in the head.
Because
Like Neil Lennon, yeah.
Shearer has to really contain it on national television when he's talking about Ashley. You
Precious
can
for
see
tyres.
him-
Precious for tyres.
But
He
you
says.
can see him
Redden. You
fuming.
see him reddening.
Yeah, and I just reckon, like volley him out the club.
Yeah.
So- oh, he shouldn't have taken them down then, should he?
Yeah, it was Shearer's sole fault that season, wasn't it? But it's true. If Newcastle they had some proper backing, they would be up. You would. It's hard to say, but certainly with where Bournemouth, Wolves.
It's not going to
maybe not Wolves,
It
but
won't take petrodollars to make them a force. I
Yeah,
truly believe that.
and when Mike Ashley gave that interview a while ago,
mid-table certainly with the Evertons. You'd be up
yeah,
there.
exactly, and that's got to be the aim, right? The size of the club they are, the size of the fan base they have, the
Yeah.
tradition they've got,
Stadium.
the coach they've got at the moment. Mike Ashley gave an interview to Sky Sports News where he said, I just can't afford it. He said, no one's asking, as far as I know, no one's asking for a Champions League trophy.
Yeah.
They're asking for it to be supported, commensurate to the size of the club it is.
Yeah, and also pay the going rate for advertising hoardings. When you talk about plastering Sports Direct over right around Sir Jesse's Park and flannels and all that crap, he's not paying for those adverts. That's part of the creaming off the top.
Yeah,
of
he gets
Newcastle
he
United.
uses it as a marketing.
He used it
exercise.
as a market exercise. So I think I said it on the WhatsApp group when Manchester City scored within 28 seconds or something. To be honest, best case scenario, Rafa walks next. Not best case scenario, but Mike Ashley doesn't deserve to have a Premier League advertising hoarding. He doesn't deserve to have that kind of exposure. Championship club. That's what Mike Ashley deserves, and if he can't get rid of if he refuses to sell a club, he doesn't want to be there. I don't think I have no qualms with them going down in the Championship, and I truly believe that. I can't stand the fact that man is creaming off the top of Newcastle United because they're a Premier League concern, and the only reason why he's spending any money. The only reason why he's borrowing any money on behalf of the club from Barclays is because he knows he's going to lose Premier League status at the end of this season if he doesn't.
Yeah,
It's ungrateful.
It's-
isn't it?
it's-
It is ungrateful.
Although Rio Ferdinand says you should be grateful,
Yeah.
of course. So
Yeah.
it's open to interpretation. I don't think.
What my favourite thing about the match, I have to say, if we can go back to that, is that part of the reason that Rondon got the connection for the equaliser was that gigantic Christian Atsu was in the mixer.
Oh,
Just sort of causing chaos with his height.
At Stamford Bridge, they
Brilliant.
were hitting Atsu all the time.
Yeah.
It's baffling, absolutely baffling.
I think it's because Dubravka's balls kind of like fade left a little bit, and
Right.
Atsu was up for the fight. But he's shorter than me. He's very, very quick. He's got no end product or even like final ball, but he's very quick.
Well, they got a big task on their hands against Tottenham.
What happened at Anfield? Because obviously they got the early goal. You think settle yourselves down and so on. Really, there were moments. I understand the game could have gone both ways, but Leicester could have won that game. Now, focus on Liverpool. I suspect now that every home game, unless they really sort this out, I think every home game for Liverpool
Mate,
now
I
will
completely
be a
agree.
nervy affair.
Yeah.
We were
How weird did it feel watching it?
we were saying this about when they were at home to Palace. We said, could this become a bit nervy? Well, I'm sorry, if you're Manchester City, I know that they've had a piss poor result against Newcastle, but Man City are good for it. You know they are.
Yeah.
And if I was Guardiola, I'd say, right, lads, they're nervous now. Let's keep at it.
And we've said this for weeks on the show leading up to this situation we now find ourselves in with Liverpool. That if there is one team and one city that is so emotionally invested in what they want to achieve here, it's Liverpool. And it can be a real help to them. It can really push them over the line when they need it, when the legs are tired and all the rest of it. But it can be suffocating. And I think just watching it on TV last night, the atmosphere felt very strange. And actually, Steve McManaman, who knows a bit about Liverpool football, said, it feels strange here, and the atmosphere is tense, and it's and it's not helping the players. So
they need to Ranieri it 1-0.
yeah, quite.
And earlier on in the season, the defence was tight and so on and so forth. And defence is still tight, but I suspect I have no. I haven't done any research on this, but I reckon it would be easier to chase a side, if you see what I mean. There's less pressure on you.
I think it depends on the circumstances.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose. But I think Manchester City, they know what they've got to do, and they've just got to keep gobbling up the points.
There are a lot of games left for Liverpool where you can't, because people were saying last night, if they win last night after what happened with Man City, they've won the league. Well, look, they've still got to play Man United away. They've got to play Everton away. They've got to play Spurs at home. They've got to play Chelsea at home. There are some games there where you think, it's not done and dusted.
I think it's fortunate for Liverpool they're away to West Ham. I think it's important they're away from home against a side who are looking pretty piss poor at the moment. Leicester City host Manchester United. Of course, Leicester drew 1-1 at Anfield, playing well against one of the big sides again.
They love it.
They do. And
well, they were another team that won at Stamford Bridge, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Claude Puel very satisfied with the performance, as he should have done. Could have been all three, but this is an intriguing one. Manchester United, they've flinched for the first time under Solskjaer. They were just about got a point.
As Luke pointed out on the WhatsApp group, though, that getting that late point is very Ferguson-esque.
It is.
I know we're probably throwing this at everything that happens. But...
No, but it is a fair.
There was an interesting article. I forget who wrote it earlier in the week, saying that Solskjaer is essentially just blueprinting Ferguson as much as possible, to the point of what he wears, how he conducts himself. He's had him down the training ground.
Scottish accent.
Yeah, he's done that.
Imagine if he started doing a Scottish accent.
He's actually gone back and opened a pub in St Johnston.
Was it St Mirren? I forget.
St Mirren, yes.
Horses.
I mean, to be fair, though, that accent is such a mixture that there might be a little bit of Scottish in there.
I think there is a bit of Scottish in there,
The preparation he did before the Burnley game is he got Cesc Fabregas to throw pizza in his face. He's method in it. He's Marlon Brando in Ferguson.
Wound up John Joe Shelby.
It is interesting because you're right. When Manchester United, they should have been a goal up. Rashford missed a good chance. Shame because he's been in good form recently. But they go 2-0 down, but they managed to claw it back right at the end, much to the ire of Sean Dyche. But what's the chat from Solskjaer after the end? It was a fantastic comeback. It was a fantastic.
He's all positive, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, they've dropped 2 points at home against Burnley. That's the thing. But these things can happen.
They have salvaged a point from what would look like a pretty bad situation. And
exactly.
Also, Pogba on the score sheet again. I know it's a penalty, but he's now got his best return of goals for a season.
The vast majority coming.
Since
Mourinho,
since Solskjaer took over. One for your fantasy football team.
The key thing for this is I know that he's won every game up until this point, and maybe there'll be a little bit of disappointment for not getting a win there. But the key point to the manner of that result is it doesn't stop the momentum one bit.
No, it doesn't.
The momentum carries on because it feels like a win. They're on a positive note. They're going to go into the game very confident, and that's in many ways the most important thing for them at the moment.
Sean Dyche was angry about the penalty, even though he said, that's just modern football for you.
Oh, what's a dig.
But he wasn't happy.
And with on the Leicester side of the fence here, you talked about how they could have had all three at Liverpool. It's fair to say they could have had none as well.
Yeah, no, I did say, it went either way, but I mean, they could have had all three. They had a few chances, didn't they?
But Liverpool absolutely should have had a penalty, though.
I agree. On Keita?
On Keita, yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's right. Well, Leicester are 13-5 to be the first team to inflict Premier League defeat on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Man United. £10 with Bet365 returns £36, including stake. I actually think this will be a pretty engrossing game.
I think it will be.
Because Leicester do seem to do all right against the big teams.
Both teams like to counter-attack a little bit. Certainly Manchester United do. I could see Vardy.
I was surprised to hear. I mean, I'm to the point of where I might have misheard it, so feel free to tweet in if I've got this wrong. On watching the game last night, Leicester against Liverpool at Anfield, I'm sure the commentator said that Shinjo Okazaki hasn't scored a goal for about...
It's a long time, I think.
I heard December 2017.
I heard something recently that was similar, and I haven't heard his name on the score sheet since. Yeah,
he's
been a bit part player though, isn't he? Really,
he's so important for them in that season. They won the league, though.
He is.